Got a rifle on a hunting rack, best friend in the back, old hound riding shotgun. I got a camouflage mud truck looking for a big buck creeping through the dusky dawn. Big bright floodlights cutting through the dark night make a path to the deer stand. Pray to God Almighty, quiet as I can be, waiting for the aftermath. We've been dreaming all year for the season, waiting for the leaves to fall. We'll be looking for a 12-point buck, man. He'll be chasing that doe. Fire up your guns, draw back your bows, let the lead out, let the hammer go. Put some meat on the table, horns on the wall, take a picture, show it off to your pawpaw. You're a different kind of animal, hiding in the brush. Look at what it does when hunting's in your blood.
Well, everybody, it's the opening day of Missouri rifle season here in Missouri.
It's November 16th here in southern Missouri.
Opening day of rifle season 2013.
November 16th, opening evening of Missouri rifle season.
It's November the 16th, first day of rifle season.
It's opening day of rifle season. We're out here bright and early. As you can see, it's still dark.
We're in a real good spot with a good rub line and some scrapes over here on the road. We're in the box blind.
I'm overlooking a bottom here, kind of on the side of a ridge. There's a pretty good deer path coming behind me and in front of me.
So we're sitting up here. It's a windy day, overcast.
The wind's blowing really hard this morning.
Really windy.
Wind's blowing about 25, 30 mile an hour.
Windy, but deer move in the wind too. People stay at home and they don't kill anything. So I'm gonna give it a go.
So I've got a good feeling about this spot.
We pack our lunch and we're sticking in for the long haul.
Got my wife with me. She's never killed a deer before. She's never been hunting. This is her first time, so we're gonna see what happens.
So I got the rifle and I'm ready to put something down.
But we're gonna go out here and give it a shot, so come and go with us and wish us luck.
November 16th, 2013, the opening day of Missouri rifle season. And boy, was it windy.
Oh, windy.
Rifle season turned out really good as far as seeing deer moving. I know it seemed like every day we were seeing something. Now maybe they weren't always biggest best deer that we were after, but there was deer moving.
Yeah, this 4-point right here, me and Jeremiah was in our secret spot.
Ooh, the secret spot.
And we'd seen several deer at this spot, and this little 4-pointer came in and he just wouldn't leave. And he came into a mock scrape that we'd made using Bean Creek's doe scent. Good product. Earlier in the season, we used the doe lure. In rifle season, we were using the doe attractant, doe scent in estrus. So he come into it, sniffed around a little bit, fed around. And then we had a few more deer come into that stand, but again, nothing of any caliber. Not that that's the most important thing, but where we hunt, we have a 4-point on one side rule, conservation rule, and it's got to at least have 4 points on one side, and this little feller didn't.
And not to mention, we've got, with bow season, you know, we've got so many opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, rifle season really kind of gives us more of a chance to be a little more particular.
Picky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we let these little guys pass. If it had been a doe, I'd have took the shot. But we got to let these little bucks go. You know, even though these little guys came in, there's nothing better than seeing deer. Even though we wasn't going to take the shot, we videoed them, we watched them, and sometimes they're very entertaining. They do things that, like back earlier in the season when I had that doe choke on that acorn. I mean, that's stuff you don't see.
Right.
But when you do, you're glad you're filming.
But you're not going to see it unless you're out in the woods.
Exactly right. And when we're filming, we get to show that to everybody, and it brings up, it's hilarious.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, that's what I love about being out in the woods. You know, we have opportunity to see these deer, even if they're not necessarily shooters.
Yeah.
It's a good time just being out there and watching the wildlife moving around, and you never know what you're going to see from sitting in a tree stand. Oh, we know you and your squirrels.
Squirrels. I come back to camp, and it's probably around 9:30, 10, maybe a little something around that. And you're already at camp. What happened, bud?
Well, bud, sometimes you just can't sit in the stand no more.
Oh. So we get back to camp, and you notice the camper that were supplied to us by Outdoor Adventure Center from Fort Leonard Wood. Boy, we can't thank them enough. It's a great camper. We appreciate it, and it's a lot nicer. It does beat a tent, and it's a lot nicer than the campers we've had in the past.
Well, we're glad we got the new camper because you know, we get the heat, and it's nice.
Yeah.
It's not full of holes. If you remember, our first camper and the growling mouse.
Folks, people don't believe us when we tell this story, but there's two eyewitnesses right here, believable, credible eyewitnesses.
Oh yeah, it happened.
And go ahead, Dave. Tell them about the growling mouse.
Well, you know, we're camping in this camper that, well, it had a lot of holes in it, a lot of air holes, but it was a roof over our head, and we didn't have any beds or anything, so I've got an air mattress laid down on the floor, and we knew we had mice in there. We could hear them running. Well, one night it woke me up, and I'd heard it running around, so I shined my flashlight on it, and sure enough, there's a mouse, and he's giving me the old evil eye.
He did.
Yeah, he's trying to stare me down, and that wasn't working, so he broke out the next move. He growled. Well, now, folks, if you've never been around a growling mouse, it's a sight to behold, because all I know is I'm watching him, and next thing I hear is grr, grr, and it's this mouse. Well, luckily Brad was awake and caught that also.
I testify to this.
Because otherwise I thought maybe I was dreaming or something, but the growling mouse, it was scary. You know, we sold the camper.
Yeah.
And, you know, the guy we sold it to, well, we're sorry.
Yeah.
But hey, the bonus, the growling mouse hopefully was still on the camper when we sold it to him, and you're welcome.
No refunds.
You're welcome.
Now, we do not consider ourselves professional hunters. We love to hunt. It's our life, but we're not professional. But what we are professional at is darts. And here at camp, we had a dart board extravaganza.
Well, it was we had a challenge.
Sure we did.
You know, we like a little competition, a little friendly competition at deer camp. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And we happen to be master dart throwers.
From way back.
From way back.
So in this one clip, I'm throwing them behind my back.
Yeah. Well, I'm throwing them with my eyes closed.
He hunts with his eyes closed.
I mean, I drive with my eyes closed, hunt with my eyes closed. It just seems to work for me.
Now here we are actually stepping back quite over by the side-by-side and throwing them. And if you'll notice, my expert lob that I have.
That's
and
not an old basketball move, is it?
Yeah,
All in the
yeah,
wrist?
that's how I got my injury.
Yeah.
That was an old basketball injury.
But it's the lob. Now yours is a little bit.
Well, I'm more of a straight shooter.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Because your up and down is a little off, but your side by side is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, your side to side is perfect.
Sure.
But you know, I think I ended up winning this challenge.
That's debatable.
We had a special guest come to camp that morning, and it happened to be my dad,
Great guy.
Bradley Ruth.
Great guy.
What do you think?
Hey! The B&D campsite. Have you filmed the campsite?
A little bit.
He came down to camp to see how we did, and to let us know that my mother, Sandy Ruth, was preparing us breakfast.
God bless her.
Love her.
God bless her.
Love her. So we went to the folks' house.
Yeah. How you doing?
We're all right. How are
Good,
you
good.
guys? Ready for breakfast?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good time here.
And Mom had deer meat cooking. And for some reason, there was also a pot of chili cooking.
Well, we've been known to raid your folks' kitchen.
We have. Now, Jeremiah, our editor, producer, he was enthralled with this chili. So he wanted to start having chili for breakfast every day. He thought it was just something. So
It was good chili.
It was very good chili. We didn't see no deer that evening.
I don't know why.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
we just didn't. Use your imagination.
Right.
Now we have our traditions during deer season. We camp.
Right.
We go to the folks to eat. And you come walking in on my deer stand. Every single year. He doesn't know where I'm at, folks. He's like a bloodhound. He can find me no matter where I'm at. But he comes walking up to my stand and, you know, tells me, hey, I've just bagged something.
And it's tradition. I've got to come find Brad. I'm an expert tracker.
He is. I don't know. I don't understand it. But he finds me. And we get back to camp, and Skyline Cycles from Waynesville, Missouri has sponsored us with this great Honda 4-seater side-by-side.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, it's very nice. Well, thank you guys. It has come into use for us, hauling deer out, getting to where we need to go.
Sure beats dragging the deer.
Oh, it sure does. And thanks, Skyline. We appreciate you.
Hey, folks. Well, we come to one of our favorite places tonight. It's we've always seen a lot of good deer sign here, and we've during our scouting beforehand seen some good sign. I went up in a spot that Brad says is his honey hole, but he let me hunt it. And sitting up there tonight, wind blew, about drove me crazy. Listened to squirrels, they definitely drove me crazy. What I thought was squirrels, and I looked over my shoulder and seen 2 does running. Well, I stood up and looking, and here come another doe. So I shot her. Well, I no more ejected my shell out of the rifle, and I heard more noise, so I looked up, and here come a buck chasing after her. Well, I guess he was in love, because he didn't mind that gunshot too much, and so he also got the same fate as the doe. So I've got 2 deer down, folks. We're gonna go do what we do a little tracking. Hopefully they're easy to find. I seen both of them fall. Now hopefully I just remember where that's at. But we're gonna load up and get some pictures of some deer for you. Stay with us.
The reason that this harvest wasn't on film is because me and Dave split up that evening. We hunt together usually and we film each other. But this evening we decided to split up, and I took the camera because I knew I'd put him in a cold spot. Hadn't seen deer there all year on game camera. It was just a cold spot. So I was happy to send him there. So I had the camera knowing I was in the good spot. Well, somehow, some way, deer came into him.
Thanks, old buddy.
Somehow, some way, I don't understand it.
I like to thank karma. Well, folks, we found my buck. Still gonna go look for the doe, but pretty good buck, folks.
You know, this buck that you shot, dandy.
Yeah,
I mean, dandy. We've been hunting. It's been a couple years since we've had a good buck like that down the ground.
Got a little kicker, bud.
Got a little kicker here. Got a little kicker in the back.
Shovel up there.
Good buck.
Boy. Look at that guy.
Thanks, Brad, for letting me hunt your honey hole tonight. It seemed to pan out for me.
Look at the neck of that guy. Neck.
Oh, he's rutting. He's chasing that doe.
Turn him aside a little bit there, bud.
After I'd even shot her, he was still trailing her. He didn't even care about the gunshot. He was in love. You know, that was his downfall. That'll do, folks. That's a good buck. Missouri rifle season, 2013. Full draw madness. 13.
That's a big deal.
All right, we're gonna go get our doe. Stick with us. All right, folks. Well, we found the old doe. Followed the blood trail right to her, and it was right from where the buck was, because he's chasing her. And I watched her fall, heard her crash in the stand. But I learned a lesson the hard way, folks, with a deer about 3 or 4 years ago, a good buck. I got out of the stand because I was excited. I knew he was a good buck and went to go see him, and he jumped up and run off, and I never did find him. So I let these deer lay, went and got Brad and Dustin here, and then we come back and got them. Let that be a lesson, folks. Don't get in such a hurry that you get down there and jump them and never find them.
Well, here where we hunt, at the fire department, they have a barbecue get-together every year. And folks that are down hunting out of state or from the city or just not from that area, we all get together and eat, tell stories, and it's a great time. We go there every year.
Yeah.
And we run into a lot of good folks, and it's just real good times.
Well, it's just real nice to get in there and meet people that otherwise we wouldn't never know, and kind of swap deer stories.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not saying that all of them are 100% true.
Mine are.
But, you know, it's a real good time just to meet those folks, gather around and talk about what we saw or the one that got away.
Hey guys, we're down here at the fire department, Missouri tonight with some folks that are down camping and hunting, and we wanted to come down and film. They have a barbecue every year and fundraising for the fire department, so we wanted to come down, say hi to everybody, maybe have them come tell us some stories. We're giving away a window decal and possibly a t-shirt tonight if it shows up, and so let's just see what all these folks are doing down here at the fire department.
So, while we were at the fire department, mingling with these folks, we come across a guy by the name of Al Lloyd, who had put a good buck down that day.
Hey folks, we're down here with some local campers that are down here for Missouri firearm season, and this gentleman here scored on a nice 11-pointer this morning, and we just want to tell you a little bit about it. What's your name, sir?
Al Lloyd.
Al Lloyd. Where are you from?
Hazelwood, Missouri.
Hazelwood. Yeah. Can you give us a little story about what happened with this buck?
Well, I was sitting in a stand and I saw two doe coming up through the woods, and they were running pretty hard. I turned around and seen him following them. And I just kind of waited for him. The does went by me and up the hill, and he kind of slowed down right when he got pretty close to me. And
he said he
lowered the boom on him.
I hear you. He told me, he said he had this one down and had another buck run by.
Yeah, I went down to pick, start cleaning this one, and while I was standing there, another 8-pointer ran right up to me.
Them bucks are chasing right now, I tell you. That's a great buck. We're proud to put it on the show. And anybody else down here get one yet?
No.
You're the first?
Yeah.
You ain't rubbing it in, are you?
No.
Here's the guys. Is he rubbing it in?
They'll get him.
All right.
Brad, it's nice with these folks that we meet to see their kills, even if it's something we haven't put down. or our crew, it's nice to see these other folks scoring on deer, and you know, we can gives us a little bit of hope, a little inspiration that, you know, we keep getting out there and hunting, because it does sometimes get a little nerve-wracking. You know, it's hard to put yourself in the stand all day long, wind blowing, the elements against you. But when we see people are putting deer down, it kind of motivates us to get out there in the woods and keep trying.
And you know, we relate to these folks because they also had a deer camp going and we're friends, and they go hunting all the time together. And it's like what we do. We get our group of friends together, we go have a camp, we have good laughs, good times, and that's exactly what these guys do.
Right.
So we can relate to what they're doing. They were just lucky enough and skillful enough to get a nice buck down that day.
Sure. I don't tell you, hey, what did he tell me yesterday? I don't tell you how to eat your biscuits and gravy.
Wait.
He really spit on that. He really spit on that. You know.
Free as a feeling in the wind, homegrown country girl, and gonna give me a whirl on Tennessee Saturday night. Ow! All right.
So what's up next week, bud?
Well, next week we're still in rifle season, and we have several hunts. Some of our good buddies, Jody Jones, Josh Kinder, and a few others, are going to showcase their hunts on next week's show. So, folks, tune in with us next week and join the madness.